Hello everyone. So the last time we did this, the quality after watching it back, pretty pretty trash, and I'm not sure why. After last time we did this, the quality was pretty trash, and I'm not sure why. So, we want to try it again, and we hope that the quality isn't going to be, isn't going to be complete trash. Um, so here we are. We're gonna get our walk on a little bit. What I'll do is I'll stay. Yeah, we have pretty good service right where I'm at, so hopefully we have decent quality out of this. Hopefully. So how's everyone doing? Got a nice looking sky out here today. Oh boy. So, it's come to my attention that folks are under the misconception that games that are a few years old are irrelevant or otherwise not worth playing. I'd like to help break this toxic way of thinking of video games. Hey, No Sleep. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. First in the stream. Thanks, man. So anyway, yeah, we got a real supporter right here. One of the real ones. We're gonna take a walk through the forest now as I continue to talk to you guys. Hopefully the quality remains okay. But I'd like to sort of break this little toxic way of thinking about video games, because in my opinion it's not a very good mindset to think that games that are like a few years old are irrelevant, not worth playing, things like that. What you have to remember is that other people, like if you genuinely just think it's going to be good, like, or it was good, and you still haven't played it yet, you have to remember is that when that came out, like, let's say it was postponed. Well, now it never even came out yet, and now it's a few years later and it's coming out. Like, the point is, the time it comes out doesn't matter. Like, if like, let's say GoldenEye never came out. We have no idea about GoldenEye. Maybe even like modern games would be slightly different. Maybe we wouldn't have the Hitman franchise because of it, or something like that. Who knows? But the point is, maybe we never had GoldenEye. And somebody thought of this just now. And it's still a new concept. We really haven't figured it out yet. It's coming out. You wouldn't care what the graphics looked like. It would still have the same effect that it did, because you've never played anything like this. So, my point is that, thinking that like games that are like a few years old, or even a couple of years old, they're only a couple of years old. Now they're probably running better. Now they've probably smoothed out the things. This is why developers and production companies for games, exactly the reason you're giving them, is why they abandon things and why they move on. Because you guys have already decided, well, no, I'm not going to play that. They have some statistic somewhere that tells them that like 60 to 70% of people that actually play their games or I'm sorry, that don't play their 60 to 70% of their people that don't play their games in the first year won't play their games ever in the first year. Guarantee it. They have some statistic somewhere that tells them that. So they go, well, I mean, is it a unanimous decision? That somebody looks around the board and goes, is this a unanimous decision? And then everybody just sort of nods and leaves for the day. That's how it works, guys. It's a bottom line. So don't give them this reason. Go play that game that your buddy played and said was really, really freaking good. Go play it. Yeah, all right, you'll have to talk to him about it, and you'll get to hear about how he did this amazing thing and shit. So let him rant about it. That's what being a friend is. Let him tell you. Well, all right, fine. I guess that gets spoiled for me then because, I wasn't there at first. Big deal. Maybe some of you like spoilers, who knows? But the point is, work it out with you because, we're rediscovering No Man's Sky. That just had a big update. The point is, these games that are a few years old get updates. They have patches. They have big updates that come out. And it sometimes even changes the whole game. That actually happened with No Man's Sky, not even what was it, 7 or 8 months ago, right? I think it was something like that. No Man's Sky got that big update where you have that hub and everybody's just there. That was never the case. That game wasn't online. You had to host a game with somebody and they had to join your game. That game was never online. So that's freaking cool. So this is the point. It's not irrelevant. It's irrelevant if you're telling the developers that it is, that essentially, oh, you never played this, so I'm never going to play it now. No, it's not. I mean, that's the point. These games, like I said, No Man's Sky got that big update. You have that whole online hub now. You have that whole online hub, and you can just see other people's ships even, but party up with people. You just go there and meet somebody. That's great. So, this is what we're looking for in a lot of games. Hitman 3 wants this. The Hitman community, I am reaching out, I'm giving this to you. This is a freebie. This is a total freebie. Put a hub just like that in the safe house. So many people will play the game. Just so that they can get the unlocks and maybe join other people's safe houses or whatever. If you do it like that, that would be so cool. And then you do a co-op freelancer. Yep, do a co-op freelancer mode. I'll bet it wouldn't be that hard to do. Co-op freelancer. Yeah, just work out your spawn points. Work out your spawn locations. Tweak those. I mean, how hard's that? Isn't Hitman 3 their own engine? Isn't that its own thing? I think they made an engine for that. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's its own thing. So, do that. Freebie. Now, they're working on the next James Bond game. And I am absolutely looking forward to this. I think very highly of this company. Just because we've had some issues with their support doesn't mean that I don't think very highly of the company. But yeah, obviously if I didn't care, I wouldn't have gotten upset when I couldn't play the game or when all those things were happening, the issues and stuff. So you just have to remember that you can play a game that's a few years old. As long as people feel like there might be something new they can talk to with their buddy about it. Like maybe their buddy completed the whole thing, but now since there's an update, they can do that. And I can be like, well, did you try the new update? And your friend would be like, no. There's an update? No, there's an update. You know what I'm saying, guys? So that's like we have to think about it like that. Hello? No sleep, or are you still in here? So anyway, that's just how that's my message to the people that like you can have whatever that's a fair rebuttal if you want, but like just why not just try some of the games out and see if I'm right, It's the sort of thing, it's like, well, what do you got to lose when Steam has so many awesome sales? Think about how many times Steam has like for example, that's how I got Dark Souls 3. I was never even planning on playing Dark Souls 3. I had never even planned on playing that. I had that on PlayStation 3. Here's my history of Dark Souls 3. There's no like secret behind it or anything like that. It's just the way things are perceived sometimes in chat and on live streams, so we have to be a certain way as content creators. But let's talk a little bit about Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3, I think it was like $8 on Steam. Man, the wind is picking up. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. The wind is picking up. I might have to... we'll be fine. So, anyway, when I got Dark Souls 3, I got it because it was like $8 on Steam. It was on sale for like $8. I was like, when am I ever... Oh, actually, it might have even been like $3. It might have been that ridiculously low. But anyway, I digress. When I first played Dark Souls 3, I was like, man, I don't want the stress of trying to be, play a game this difficult. And then I just sort of put it down. That was a long time ago on PlayStation 3 when I first bought it, because I heard that it was really good. And when I first got my PS3, all I had for it, or I'm sorry, PS4. I'm sorry, PS4. I'm sorry, I keep saying PS3. PS4. When I first got my PS4, I had Dark Souls 3, and I also had Uncharted. And so anyway, when I played it, I first put it down. I was like, yeah, I don't want to take the time to, it just takes a long time to get good at something like that. And then, I guess, just seeing like bits and pieces of Asmon playing it here and there, and a friend of mine who's also played it like a lot over the years, he would always talk about it. And so I'm like, all right, you know what? Maybe I'll add it to my wish list. So I went on Steam, and there it was for $8. And I'm like, oh, okay. So because it was already just $8, I'm like, okay, let's do this. And it ran really smooth, and I was like, man, this is cool. And then I played it on stream, And then like just had a totally different experience with it. And I'm like, oh boy, not this crap again. So then what happened was I sat there. A friend of mine came over and to play the game, and I asked him. I said, you know, can you just play it for a little bit? Just get me somewhere, and I want to watch because explaining much to really not really. I'm better at games and stuff like that. Well, this and maybe some other people, but I also want to reiterate to you guys that I suck. I'm really not that good, and I think that's actually why people hate me a lot, because there's actually a huge amount of trolls, I think, that take a good look at me, and I use that term loosely. Just accept what you are if you go around trolling people. But I think there are a fair amount of them that just take a good look at me and realize that I'm better at games, and so they almost sort of kind of feel a little insulted that I keep saying that I suck. And I continued to meet gamers that were always better than me. There's this a friend of mine that I used to work with a while back, and we started, you know, like playing. We started playing WoW together. We started playing Diablo together, and that's actually when I started understanding the games better, because I was playing with somebody that was willing to actually sit there and take the time to show me how to do something, instead of like the other people that are just like, you suck, and then like they just never want to talk to you ever again. And that's how I got better at Diablo. That's how I got better at because when I grew up, you know, like it's sort of like you only understand things to a certain point when you're younger, you know, and then when you get older, you know, it's like you sort of stop playing for a while. You might like get jobs and stuff like that. Games than I ever did before, but you know, I always sort of kind of came home and just did that anyway. That's what I did on the weekends. It's like, yeah, all right, we're gonna do LAN party and StarCraft 2 and all that. I mean, that's the point. So that's that. You know, those really were my hobbies and stuff. But you definitely get better at doing the stuff if you're doing it all the time. So obviously, I'm better now than I probably ever was at a lot of different games. So, you know, like obviously people come in and they just sort of kind of hate on the fact that I say I suck, because, you know, they recognize, well, maybe they're not as good at the game that I am, and I'm saying I suck. So like, you know, where's that put them? And it's like, well, you can't think about it like that. Just think about, like, I'm trying to be humble about it. Like, I'm just trying to not make it seem like I want to, like, you know, if I know, even if I know I'm sort of kind of good at something, I'm not necessarily going to sit there and be like, yeah, look how good I am at this, or something like that. Like, who cares? You know, I would really much rather somebody be comfortable watching, you know, because, you know, I don't know. I feel like that's sort of a little weird if you're always, you know, just doing that or something like that. You know, like somebody that's always talking about, like, you know, like, I don't know, just always trying to draw attention to themselves or something like that, you know, like what they're doing. My goal is to, you know, just be as engaging as possible. You know, there's a lot of times where I say that I suck or something like that, and I'm waiting for some sort of positive feedback. You know, somebody be like, what are you talking about? You don't suck. And like the entire like three plus years or something like that I've done this, probably I'd say like maybe like only like 2 or 3 people have ever said something like that. it's like so basically it just seems like pretty much a lot of the time, all anybody ever does with these chats and stuff like that is just sit there and wait until they can rip on somebody. And I gotta say, like that's the point, is that's not what my chat. That's not what I'm here for. I've never, like if somebody comes in, I'm sure you've heard people talking shit about me or something like that. But like honestly, the truth of it is, a lot of these guys come in and they sort of just ask me a really weird question, or they like say something really rude just immediately. And so it's like, well, of course I'm not gonna, like of course I'm gonna just give that right back to them. Who wouldn't? Um, yeah, they're trolling your chat. Um, it's sort of like the people that draw attention to themselves by like let's say, like if you ever said something in the chat where it's like, like you're just trying to draw attention to yourself or something like that. um it's like, well, you gotta realize this is that's there's a word for that. We call that detracting. And it's like, I'm not saying that we can't talk about other people, we can't talk about other people's situations and stuff like that, but like if we're talking about a real serious situation, like something's going on, kind of, like we're just sort of kind of dealing with that same issue that we deal with, where we get kind of harassed a bit and stuff like that, and somebody comes in like right then, they're sort of kind of acting, like, oh, it's all about me, or something, like pay attention to me or something like that. It's the sort of thing where it's just like, no, they're here. I can't let you do that in chat. Um, it it it's we have well, no sleeps here now. For us, and I appreciate it really at the moment. So part of the sleep at the peak, you're sort of starting to fall, if you will, if you kind of get what I'm saying. A lot of these guys sort of kind of buying like that. They're starting to use bots. It's just like, so they're I would have people like just in their chest look like people, but I feel a certain thing I don't appreciate and way about it. I've had a few people like a bot into my chat or something like that to try to be nice or whatever, and it's just sort of thing where like I'll sort of kind of, I know it's a bot, so I'll just sort of kind of mess with it a little bit. Could try to sort of point out the fact that I'm fully aware of what it, that it's a bot and stuff like that. So I don't know. Because I want real support. I don't want, like, I want real people supporting the channel. I want to. Yeah, I want to like definitely try to be positive about a lot of the huge bowl of crap that's in the gaming community right now, which is why I sort of started more focusing on, the stuff having to do with the game community. I mean, not like, obviously we don't have to do everything having to do with that. This is a vlog channel, as I said before. We're going to be doing other stuff as we're doing today. It's not just gaming. We do martial arts too. I show you guys some stuff from my long career as a martial arts instructor. We do that too. But it's the point. It's a vlog channel. Like, I'm just sort of kind of doing my thing here and making content out of it and how I see things and all that. And a lot of times we get into the games just because that's what that's what I'm into. That's what I like to do. And right now, we're rediscovering No Man's Sky. Man, I gotta tell you. It's one hell of a game. By the way, that's a phrase. People got their little sayings, their little phrases. I've been saying that for a while. That's something, that's a Sifu. That's a Sifu line. That's one hell of a game. Yep. So we gotta see if we can get a sponsorship from Hell of a Cheese. I freaking love cheese, man. And get a sponsorship from Hell of a Cheese. That'd be a hell of a sponsorship. I'll tell you what. See, I'm good for the puns. See, that would work great for me because I love stupid puns. Who doesn't love stupid puns? They're stupid. That's why you love them. This is why we should embrace stupid. Like, don't be so offended and upset that like there's so many times where I do stupid stuff and I'm stupid and I laugh at myself. I'm like, wow, I'm fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Like wow. And so like I know I get like that's a big thing with me, but like you have to realize that we're all really stupid compared to the men and women that built this country. We are a shell of what they were. And we have to stand up and prove that we're not. That's my opinion. We're not a shell of what they were. That we're evolved. In my way, we can do that as if we laugh at ourselves. Hey, you'll remember current ignorance. If it was just you never want to learn more. You never want to be more educated on certain stuff. Like it's actually not a healthy thing. It's actually much healthier to just try to laugh it off. Oh, like admit like to yourself, kind of like, oh yeah, that was stupid, like. So, yeah, just saying. It's a really nice day out today. Like, it's perfect. Like, this is the perfect temperature for what we're doing right now. I really hope that it's not crap quality. I mean, I can't see if it is or not at the moment. But I hope it's not. I know that, I'll be honest, I know that typically what happens is it does get a little bit dense and Yeah, we might lose quality a little bit there, but we really should have really good quality in some of these sections. Because if you look up here, the tree line's right there. It's not like it's like we're really far out here or anything. And we're about at the top of the mountain here. So like the signal is there. I am looking at it too, keeping an eye on it. Yeah, I mean it's halfway now. But I mean like it's like pretty much never like 1 bar or nothing, you know? Like it's for all the times we've had all those crap quality, you know, streams where we're walking like this and stuff. That's somebody making it look like that essentially makes somebody else look a certain way. I'm not shitting you because we don't have, it's not bad quality. You remember the day when it was really bad and there was a lot of people in here, and then in his stream he was conveniently talking about it and he was like, my streams don't do that. Well, how did you know my stream was doing that? He's a big streamer. He's wasting his time on watching my stuff. What? So that's kind of my point. Is like they're either watching the copy or they're watching the support. And there's a lot of people right now. A lot. I got news for you. More than you think. Watching to copy and not to support or anything. We have more than ever. We have people spamming the dislike button. Which means that somebody is talking shit. That's what that means. I didn't do anything. Yeah, like what have I done? All I'm doing is sitting here trying to stream and we got hackers coming in by storm doing way worse than normal. Yeah, like I'm being attacked. I'm literally being attacked. And then at the same time, these jackasses are coming in by storm to spam the dislike button. So the point is, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see what's going on here. We know that it's an attack. We know that essentially because of, you know, like maybe it has to do with politics. Most likely that has what it has to do with. And that's bad. If it's politically driven, then that's the sort of thing where, well, we've got you. Yeah, and there's enough times where there was enough people sort of talking about this or that after I was talking about it, and then they came in and we had problems. And it just too many things where it's like politically driven. And it looks like you're, you know, doing things to attack people based on politics. And we know that there's a word for that. There are words for those things, for those folks. Hello? 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 Oh, also, apparently the new thing coming from this other channel full of fake fans. The new thing is to come into my stream and say one thing to me and then leave. And then if I answer your question, you don't say anything else. And then if I ask you a question, you don't say anything else. You just leave the stream, so that way it looks like you came in and I didn't answer you. That's, like, that's the game these people are running. And by the way, this this con artist, they've basically been farming content ideas from me for a while. So, like, they weren't gonna do certain things with their channel. They weren't gonna do this or that. And then all of a sudden, they're doing this and that. After I did this and that. Yeah. And that's fine. But at least, like, show up. At least support the channel. At least bring your people in. You know what I mean? Don't, you know what I mean? Like, at least, at the very, you don't even have to chat. At least show up and at least support. I'm not one of those guys where I'm like, oh, you have to chat, blah, 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 blah. The whole point is, if I see you in here for the lives, yeah, I would rather see you chatting. Because we've had, at this point, we're, we've had enough people in here trying to cause problems. And it's about, protecting and having a safe chat and safe community for everyone. So the point is, that's why it's getting looked into, because, they do come in by storm. So the point is, if you're in here during the lives, that's why it's good to know who's in here, because when that gets looked at, it's going to be in question. Just certain things are going to be in question, like, who actually came in and did this, and sent all these things that we thought, that people thought that we couldn't see, that we could. So. Hello? It's world class. Yep, it's world class. That's for sure. That's definitely what it is. Yeah. See, that's the thing, is, like, I can stand here and make content like this and talk and stuff like that without being a complete jackass. And some people just can't. The whole point of that was to show you just how much you'd hate it if anybody else did it, except for him. So the point is, why is he so special? Why is he allowed to do that? Well, that's the point. That's exactly the point. He shouldn't be. Anybody doing that, you just be in a certain way. Yeah. It's nasty. Yeah, it's like, that's the point, All those times it's like we were just talking, about, imagine making thousands a month off donations and then whining, crying about the fact that you're still not making enough off donations off the same people that voluntarily donate their money to watch you insult them. Come on. Get real, man. Now, the reason I the reason I swear so much too is it's just part of my speech. Like I was getting on here and just sort of controlling what I said for a long time. I was getting on and we didn't go anywhere. You know, that's the point. And so like I'm not gonna be like that anymore. I'm just gonna be how I would normally be. I'm gonna speak to you how I would normally speak. And I swear. I mean, it's as simple as that. I mean, I was on here the first, I don't know, maybe a year and a half or so streaming, and really definitely was trying not to swear and definitely controlling what I said a lot more and stuff like that. But, you know, at the end of the day, it was the sort of thing where it's like, now if it gets, you know, like if it's part of my speech and it's who I am, and like that, it like my point is driven a bit more through that, you know, essentially, all right, people start to kind of relate and sort of understand me a bit more by doing that. Like it doesn't sound as prepared. It doesn't sound as, you know, oh, he's skipping some words there. Why is he pausing so much? Well, it's because I was trying not to swear. You know? So it is a very nice day to be walking. I was trying to walk slow when we were in the woods, that way it wouldn't cut out as much, or I shouldn't say cut out, but be as bad quality. Out here it should be better quality. Let's take a look here. Yeah, we got that 5G. So anyway, the point that I started with, and the point that I want to continue to reiterate, is that you know, the whole idea behind playing games that are a few years old, you know, like I talked about this in the beginning, but remember, you know, the reason why these games are continuing to get updated, and the reason why these games do stick around, and then like they continue getting updates and then they become relevant again when they get like a DLC or something like that, is because they're good, is because people like them, is because people are still playing them. It's not because they're irrelevant. That is completely false. And so that's the misconception that I'd like to correct with some of my content, you know, like with us, you know, when we do our streams, and anytime I talk about this, then that's when we get the people showing up, the hackers that essentially want to make sure that we don't have any content that like makes sense to a crowd or a group of people, a group of viewers. They want to make it look like that's the point, is you know, anytime we have a goal and we state what that is, they know what it is, so they come in and mess with that. That's it. That has been the one constant, the one concurrent thing that you can say has happened the entire time I've been live, is that if we have any type of main goal or main idea for the channel, and we state what it is, we will have a ton of problems. We will be met with bitrate issues. People will hack streams. They will make half of the stream disappear. they'll come in and spam the dislike button. They'll make sure they'll run some scam to make sure that the stream is only viewable to X amount of people for X amount of time. The hack attempts to cause some sort of disconnect, like just the sheer amount of things that this group has done to halt the progress of the channel anytime we have a clear goal and present that to the public. Sometimes it's not even when I do. Sometimes it's very obvious that they that's why it's kind of obvious it came from like YouTube or something like that too sometimes, because we won't even tell the public. I'll just have something in my my stream software before the stream. We'll never talk about it. We'll just have it sitting there or something like that, and I'll never talk about it or something like that. And some random person will come in my chat and mention it out of nowhere. Didn't mention it ever before. Didn't talk about it before. And then someone will come in my chat and just randomly start talking about it. Oh, hey, did you see that they did this and this or something like that? It's like, oh, gee, that's a little convenient. Because I had this video that I didn't tell anybody about, that I just sort of recorded and that I never released. Interesting. So the whole thing of looking through your camera and stuff like that before and after stream, that's starting to make sense now. So, is it rigged? Yes. But it's rigged by groups of people that decide. These groups that just decide whether they like you or not. And if they don't like you, they're just going to come in and try to harass everything that you do to make you quit. That's very serious. Think of how many young people they may have robbed of their livelihood that sat and did this for years, maybe, thinking they had the right means and the right research and the right whatever. I mean, that's pretty serious. Yeah, I mean, like, it's not any different than like if you started a business. You have a chance to fail at that. But if you start a business and then like somebody just constantly coming in, harassing your business in some way, causing all kinds of problems, reaching in some way to, this problem. I'm not going to give you examples or anything like that. But, let's say they're just doing all these different things to cause an issue for your business. A business is pretty delicate when it first opens, if you're not rich. So the point is, you got to stick to that budget. You often don't make a profit in the first, 3 to 4 years. It's still pretty tight. So let's say somebody was just going in and causing a problem for that business, constantly making them spend money, constantly doing this and that, making them spend money that they didn't have. Eventually the business would fail. Because the idea is that person went out of their way to do a bunch of things in addition to what life would already throw at them. Life's already hard. It's already difficult. The cost of living in the United States is absurd. It's absurd. for what the wages are. So, I mean, this is the point. Is there's no difference than somebody doing it with somebody that just like started business, and essentially just a bunch of people that would have the means, the confidence, and the knowledge, know-how, go ahead to at least decently make it. Not necessarily expecting to be the best or the top or any of that. But the idea is that you always drive for that. You strive for that. That's your confidence level. As I've done in the past. And then people just call this like some sort of ego or something. Like, no, you don't know what ego is. Ego is the guy that says the same phrase over and over and over in his stream because he likes to hear the sound of his own voice. Because he knows like that's the one thing people tune in to hear. They like the sound of his voice. It's like, so that's it. That's what an ego looks like. That's the point. People don't know what an ego looks like. An ego is somebody that has a natural born talent. They know they have something, it's literally a natural talent. And then they just continue to use that over and 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 over in a way that is unhealthy. That's ego. That fits them, but not anyone around. Well, like that's the point. That's exactly what he's doing. Doesn't know what to say. He's not very creative. He just says the same negative crap all over and this is the point, is that because he knows that the internet breeds on this and that these groups of people show up just for this, so he's peddling to that. It's literally just something he's doing that he knows is going to work for views. That's an ego. So we're gonna just continue to cover what I've always said and the stuff I want to cover. Like people call that the ego part. It's like, no, that's the part that you want. You want me to do it for me. That's how you know it's legit. It's the people that have been out here forever asking for donations. I've been doing this shit for free for a long time. Yeah, so now it's starting to get a little old. When the people around me, the content creators, that I use that term loosely, are just stealing my ideas because they're newer channels and they know that that's the issue. They're a newer channel, so therefore they're tricking the algorithm to gain traction. That's it. It's because my channel has been on the platform for X amount of, it's literally all it is. It's literally as simple as that. YouTube knows this too. They don't care. Yeah, they know this is an issue. So, I don't appreciate the fact that they know this is an issue and they really haven't done much about it. That's really upsetting, because the point is, I've been on here for years, and all these guys like literally just come in and just like, oh, that's how you do that. Oh, that's how you do that. Oh, that's how you do that. I help people understand even what bit rate was. Yeah, we got all these content creators coming in that they didn't even know what fucking bitrate was before I told them. What's that? Okay. So that's the point. I knew about this stuff. I knew how to do this for years. And like, they didn't even know about setting their bit rate. And they're having all these issues. Like, oh, I don't know. It's like, man, if you think you're going to school me on what's going on with my shit, no. You didn't even know about bit rate. You didn't even know about this or that. Just stop. That's the ego. That's the point. This is why I can say these things. I have the knowledge. It's not an ego. It's just knowledge. About a half an hour ago, I called myself stupid. Okay? I don't have an ego. Never did. I was the guy that learned martial arts to an extreme level and didn't beat the crap out of the bullies that picked on me. Yeah. Probably should have. But I didn't. So don't talk to me about a fucking ego. And don't go around talking shit and so you don't know anything about. You don't know me, you don't know where I came from, you don't know a damn thing about me. You're just talking shit. Trying to farm my channel for content ideas. They've all been doing it. That's the new thing. Oh, we'll go to Sifu's channel for content ideas. Let's farm his channel. That's the new thing. Then they just hit the dislike button on their way out. Well, it's all being looked into. There's so many times where somebody just like starts saying the exact same things I just said in the stream and stuff. Like, all right, when you're gonna start being that obvious about it, you're not even like changing it, and the stream happened. Like I just did the stream, and you're not even on yours like a half an hour later saying the same shit. Unbelievable. So I'm not claiming to be like super interesting at live streaming or anything like that. I'm not claiming that. All I'm trying to claim is that I'm here to play games, to turn people on to the fact that, you know, they think that, you know, like the huge misconception for a while was that you needed like a super computer to play all these games that you can play on consoles these days. It's just not true. And then how many people came in by storm to sit there and try to break my shit and make it run totally different than it normally runs. Like last night. Yeah, and then they finally stopped. Eventually. Yeah, because it started like literally it just stopped doing it eventually. Unbelievable. So, the point is, we don't want to say too much because then too many people, what they've been doing is they've been reverse engineering what I've been saying. And we don't want to do that anymore. They don't want to do that anymore. They've been reverse engineering what I've been saying. Where you know, like it sort of looks like we're actually, I don't want to be showing people how they could mess with somebody's stream, essentially. I don't want to do that. And the only reason I even know now those things is because they've been doing this to me so much. I've had to reverse engineer what they're doing. Yeah, like that's how much this has happened. Where I've essentially learned a lot of this stuff because I've reverse engineered the fact that so many people have done this to me because I like apparently my content, like me playing video games and talking about the stuff that I talk about, is just so triggering that people can't let me talk about it. They have to try to shut me up. Yeah. The amount of times I was talking about a certain politician and the stream starts cutting out. That's unbelievable. That truly is. And then there'll be a crap load of concurrence in here too, right when we start talking about it. And then they'll cut the stream out. So YouTube, what are you doing there? Because to me, it looks like you're running some sort of game where you're not letting people talk about political candidates on your platform on a live stream. That's weird. Why are you doing that? YouTube. That's really weird. Why are you doing that? Yeah, because it's every single time. Yeah, so all that's being looked into. That's very strange. Yeah, YouTube has no real policies against that. Yep. Yeah, because when I can go on YouTube live streaming and sit there and find all these people talking about things that they pulled out of their ass, QAnon this and that, just like, oh yeah, at 2:32 p.m. on Tuesday on this day, this guy's gonna say this thing and it actually means this, and then this is gonna happen. Oh my God. The amount of people that are allowed to do this crap on the platform. And the very second that we start talking about politics at all, it's cutting out. That's just unacceptable. That's absolutely unacceptable. Because I'm not even somebody that sits here and is unfair about it. I actually present a pretty fair scope and look at both sides of the equation, and in my humble opinion, I do. And that's what usually happens when we start making a really good point. They get really mad instead of just accepting it. You have to realize when that's not how, like, you're something wrong with your head. Like I'm not trying to say this to be rude. Like, you have to recognize as an adult that if somebody's speaking something that, like, all it is like new information about a subject, and you're so affected by this, like you're angry and you want to like hurt that person or shut them up, you realize that you have the problem, right? I'm not trying to be rude. I'm actually trying to help. That's what that means. It means you actually have a huge issue where, like, you will now forever do this to other people that think anything different than your own opinion. And with stuff that's not like politics and things like that, you'll treat it lesser. But with politics, because it's our home and it's our country and stuff like that, people do start to care now. But the problem is that they're just really, really ignorant about stuff, and really won't ever admit to not really knowing much about it. And so they'll just sit there endlessly and hate the person that thinks something different than they think, regardless of whether it's true or not. And that's actually a real issue. We have a huge. This is when we make that type of point, where I come from like the center of the road and I'm making really good points and stuff like that. Man, the stream cuts out like crazy. Man, it's so bad. So, the point is, I do have a lot to say with that subject, and I'm somebody that can come from a place of I do say things that are that at times are like, well, you're kind of stupid if you do this at this point, but it's just my opinion. This is the point, is that if I think this and this is my opinion, you should be willing to debate that constructively. You know what I mean? Like, if you're triggered to like want to shut me up or like hate on me, or somehow go out of the way to end what I'm like saying, or like end the stream or something like that, well, then you don't really, like, you're kind of proving you don't really have an intelligent argument to debate with me. You're just trying to shut me up. It actually kind of sounds like I'm right. So just the sheer amount of times this has happened, case in point, the sheer amount of times this has happened, it's been every time. At a certain point, they'll just sit there and make sure it's not heard. And again, I just want to help. I want to reiterate to the fact that I actually care. And I know I've said this before, but I'll say it again, because the stream started acting really weird when I said this before. It's kind of messed up. Really messed up, actually. The point is, I've been alive long enough and been paying attention. I remember what happened when Bush was president, when Clinton was president. I remember those things. I was watching the TV. I was watching the TV when the whole thing with Iraq happened. I was old enough. I was at a friend's house watching it. We were praying, but I was there. And like, that's the point, is like, you guys don't get is I'm not, a lot of what I pull isn't from the things that I hear from this or that. It's literally because I was there. Seeing and hearing the reports. And you have to consider that a lot of this was before the complete nonsense propaganda of fake news that a certain candidate created. This didn't exist. Nobody thought of things like this until this. Yeah, like, people didn't generally just think of news as fake, because it's really not. It's called news for a reason. So decipher what's somebody's opinion out of that thing you're reading versus the facts. You know what I mean? Like do that yourself. That's the point. Is that a certain candidate literally created a reason for you all to just never, ever, ever listen to any news source ever again. Well, there's a reason for that. Because every news source is going to tell you the same thing about that candidate. That's the point. And he also single-handedly, in my opinion, created a lot of these cults that exist on the internet, because that's what he did to media. Basically, there's a whole ton of media out there that exists now to lie. It's like literally just made up, completely made up. And they're not a real news outlet. They just call themselves a real news outlet. And this didn't happen before he did it. His administration actually made and put together and assembled a whole shitload of news outlets that are just like sort of kind of internet things, and it's just because of him. And they just lie to you. But it's all propaganda for him, of course. So it'll always just say something against like just random Democrats. Oh, did you hear what the Democrats did today? Like, oh, like come on. That's why they're doing that. Do you know that's why they're doing that, guys? Because they themselves know it's been them for decades. They've been doing a bunch of shit. So therefore they just point the finger. You know, a lot of times when I hear a debate, that's the point. Is that's what I want to hear. And I want to hear constructed. We can't even hear intelligent debate anymore. Well, because he created that. He wanted people to just argue and think that's how you debate. Because the point is, almost everybody that voted for him that matters, like that mattered to his vote, had never voted before. They never paid attention to politics before. They didn't care. They just hated the fact that there was going to be a woman president. It's literally what it was. They hated the fact, they don't want to admit it to themselves. They literally just, the emails, this or that, it's this. Like literally half of that shit you're saying is a lie. It's propaganda. You don't know what you're talking about. It's made up to convince you to vote for him. And you believed it. Because that's the point. You love to hate. And you want a reason. He gave you one. So, like, this is the point, is people are starting to realize I'm making a really good point. Just like a lot of the people that I see swerving around behind me that aren't patient enough to match my speed are the people in giant fucking trucks with giant Trump stickers on them. Okay, I'm not making that up. It's not something that's like, I just hate these two. No, it's them. I'm just minding my own business, going the speed limit, and probably somebody in that car is like, oh, fucking liberal, or something like that, and he starts swerving around, oh, look at this fucking guy in his fucking car, he's probably wearing a mask too. You know that's what he's thinking. And he's swerving around, maybe now he's on his phone talking about me. Yeah, meanwhile, he gets caught illegally passing me, acting like a douchebag. And all I was doing was driving down the road. Who the fuck cares if I was wearing a mask? No, I don't wear a mask in my car. No, I don't. Just in case you were wondering. No, I don't. But who the fuck cared if I would? Why does this matter? Why is this some sort of political fucking statement? Oh, they're trying to silence us. No, there was a fucking pandemic. Anytime I start talking about this stuff and making sense, suddenly the stream's gonna go, we can't take it. I have something intelligent to say. This is what's caused all of my issues. This is why it's being looked into, guys. Politics should not be driving people to hate other people. Have something intelligent to say. Yeah. Unless, like Americans should not want to literally just cause a war on their own soil. That's the point. Stop doing this. We need to figure out a way to elect somebody we all like. The reason that it's like the point is, the reason that I pander towards Democrats and lean that way is because they make sense. oh, yeah, okay, I guess if you do that, makes sense. And the Republican gets up anymore. This used to be the other way around. But anymore, the Republican gets up and he's just like, yeah, well, you're just saying that because you know that Hunter was in this country. And you're just saying that because he was in this one country and you're trying to defend blah blah blah. What are you talking about? You know, like we're talking about like stimulating the like economy stimulus or something like that, and it like randomly mention like Hunter Biden or just what? Does that have to do with your policy on what we're talking about right now? It's like, did you watch those debates? He literally didn't answer a single question. Like the point is, I'm frustrated because people want to pick somebody that very clearly doesn't care. Over somebody that cares so much. He's going through all this like he clearly is advanced in age. He clearly is having issues doing office at his age. We all know this. And so like anybody that could comfortably just retire and do so, wouldn't they? I guarantee you Trump would. So the point is, he ran for that office and he did what he did because he truly believed he needed to, because there wasn't anybody else strong enough to win against. And I agree. And so like when you're looking at the ethics of that situation, look, you know, just honestly take a look at it, man. That's all I'm asking. You know, I'm not asking you to sit to you know, change the reason you want to vote for somebody, or like I'm not doing that. And I'm not like right every time. No. Vote for the Democrat. Don't do that. But that guy? No. And I got plenty of good reasons for you. And so the point is, like, most of the time, truth be known, when I actually want to talk about that subject, it brings so much hate. The problem is people get off subject. They want to debate things because they don't understand enough. They may know this or this, a very small area, and then that's why they're choosing to hate Biden or something like that. And half the time, the reason they hate him isn't even valid because they don't know the other things. So yeah, see, that's the point, is they know like one thing, and they're like, well, I know this happened because of this, and that's Biden's administration, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but what you don't get is that he was just signing off on something from the previous, like he had to do that. Like there's so many times where people don't get why things happen. And so like I'm not here to you know, like get anybody riled up or anything. Like that's not the point. Is the point of being able to talk about those things is essentially for you to be able to come in and listen and constructively decide for yourself what's true about what somebody says. And then maybe look up those things to have a constructive way of debating the person. Instead of, no, that's not, no. You know, like instead of just like you just hate them or like, well, look it up. So I I don't want to, like that's the point, is like people want to conceptualize other people. Like, oh, all right, you vote for this person, I now think this of you, and this is how you are. Like you stereotype people. We used to do just all the time. People used to be walking stereotypes in the 90s. You just knew who somebody was. Um, but now it's like it's if you get stereotyped or something like that, it's like people can't accept that, like that's how they are. Like all right, if you're arguing with me on something where I'm just making a good point, you come in and start insulting and stuff like that, you have to realize at that point, I'm the one that's talking sense, and then you just like sort of kind of came in out of nowhere. You were so affected, you had to come in, and so like the point is, it was very obvious you were affected by this emotionally, and you didn't think about it. You just came in out of emotion, and so that's this is the issue. Is you can't objectively look at something that's supposed to help the country, that's supposed to be good for the country, and this is why we have elected officials on our behalf. Why you should trust them and then stop talking crap on them all the time. Why it's so important to support them, and instead of what we have been doing. You're just giving these media outlets what they want. You guys like claim to hate CNN and claim to hate Fox and claim to hate all these big ones. Prove it. Stop giving them what they want. Yeah, like show them that like actually start saying things like, well, maybe I don't want Biden in office, but like I don't hate the guy or anything. Like I hope he has a good presidency. Start saying things like that. And you'll see a huge change in the atmosphere around. I said things like this when Trump was president. And I saw almost nobody doing that. So I'm going to say the same thing to you. Somebody said this to me too. When I was talking about Trump after he got elected and stuff like that, somebody said, well, don't you want him to have a successful presidency? I was like, all right, you know what? Good, valid point. Yes, I do. You know what? You're right. I hope he has a successful one. And I hope he does good things. He just spent his entire time in office undoing Obama-era stuff. That's all he did. Just undid things from the previous administration, which, by the way, were good things. So I waited, and it didn't happen. So the point is, instead of listening to the ad on your TV, somebody fell. Instead of listening to the ad on your TV, where some rich guy paid for a Trump ad to say Bidenomics is working, and like use a very out of context little goofy thing that he said because he's not the best at public speaking anymore. Like to get you to hate him. I mean, like this is how easy it is. That's the point. It's you see this ad, you're like, yeah. Well, but what if it's wrong? What if it's just selling you? That's the point. You all think that it's the other way around. It's not. He's proven that to you with his age. He's proven that to you with being in office at this time. When he's like that man, yeah, we all know it. And that's the point. And so, obviously it doesn't I think his brain is fine for the job. I think it's more his body that's deteriorating. And the guy's always had a stutter. So the fact that people are going to use that now to his disadvantage, and it's gotten worse, like you just like this is the point: is you're picking things you don't know anything about and just running with it. Yeah, like he always had that stutter. That's why he never really spent a lot of time speaking. That's why. Another reason why he spent a lot of time out of the spotlight as a politician. You didn't really know who he was until he was vice president, right? Yeah, that's why. He's not a great public speaker. So what? Is this why you vote for somebody? I hope not. Like we've got some really crap options lately. I sure as hell wouldn't re-elect the guy that stored a bunch of top secret files at his house in like a bathroom. I certainly wouldn't do that. Don't say what stuff they will get you. Like, what are you talking about? That's just public knowledge. That's just public knowledge. You can look it up on YouTube. There's all kinds of videos on YouTube talking about the same thing. I'm not saying anything any different than anybody else is saying that you could look up on YouTube. The only difference is I'm one of the only content creators actually sitting here talking some sense about the subject. Most people just, like they just pick a side and don't really know what to say. That's the difference. I'm actually talking about the specifics of it and can talk about it. So, like, yeah, that's the point. Is you could sit here and just go to like so many different sites. Yeah, I mean, like even like CNN, Fox, even like some of the news media outlets will actually post the videos reporting on this stuff on YouTube. So to claim that I'm saying anything anybody else doesn't say on YouTube, that's just completely asinine. Yeah, I don't know what the heck you're talking about. So, not on YouTube. Yeah, okay. It's all over YouTube. I hate to tell you. Oh, man. What about for any weird bans in the future? Is that a threat? Is that a threat? Is that, again, somebody making a threat in my chat? You do realize they're investigating this, right? Because every time we talk about Trump, a bunch of people come in by storm to hit the dislike or either send me death threats. So I really wouldn't be saying things like that. Yeah, they're investigating this because every time I talk about this, we have freedom of speech here in the United States of America. So essentially, I can say what I want, and YouTube certainly has rights to, decide after the fact if they want to block it in this country or something like that. But for the most part, they generally speaking, they have policies on what you can and can't say, and there's plenty of people on YouTube talking about politics. And I'm not saying anything any different than like what the news would be reporting. So essentially, I would just look at that and give it to you. If you want a great guy to watch that's right in the middle of the road, presents it for you. He's a really good news outlet. Philip DeFranco. Philip DeFranco is a great guy. He's been doing this for a long time. He's a lot like me in the sense that where he looks at politics. I don't know personally if he's a lot like me, but like in the way he looks at politics is a lot. I look at where they can consider both sides of the equation. Where like if I was voting for the other guy or like wanted thought this way and wanted to vote for these types of things and wanted my candidate to have these things, how would I feel about how this guy's saying this or whatever? And that's how he looks at stuff too. So Philip DeFranco is a really good source for you. But yeah, like this is the point, is that I want to make chat a safe place for people to come in and talk, especially with politics, because I think it's really important for people to be able to talk to somebody educated about stuff, because the public school systems aren't doing it. So if the public school systems would actually take responsibility and educate people, our next generation, on politics, specifically American politics, and stop trying to lie and deceive, then I wouldn't have to do this. But thus, here we are. We have the right to freedom of speech, yet our own government would have us silenced in public schools. Oh, no doubt. Oh, no doubt. You have no idea how many times I physically asked a teacher how they thought about a candidate or something like that. I wanted to know how to feel, and I wanted to know how to educate myself growing up and how to feel about this stuff. And it was extremely, extremely disappointing when I asked a mentor, a teacher, somebody I looked up to, somebody that taught history, that worked at the school, the public school, what they thought of the candidate and who they were going to vote for, and just, try to teach me about it. And he had to inform me we're not allowed to talk about that. And that's all I can say. That is so disappointing. That is so fucked up. And yet we claim to have freedom of speech, yet they're intentionally not teaching kids in a public school system. I don't give a fuck what they've always done things parents disliked. They have always. You think that it's about the parents saying, "Oh, you're not going to teach that to my kids," blah 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 blah. Fuck no. It's not about that. They've always done things parents didn't like. Think about the vaccine. Yeah, this should be just as much of a public safety concern as that. Yeah, we elected somebody that obstructed justice and like 13 separate times in a federal investigation. We elected somebody that obstructed justice 13 separate times in a federal investigation. And you're going to tell me that we're not going to be teaching our kids, we're not going to be teaching the next generation about American politics? Fuck out of here with that shit. Yeah, see, that's the problem, is people don't even know what I'm talking about that want to vote for him. They don't even remember that now. Yeah, they don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's the problem. They don't know anything about that. They don't care. Oh, it's fake. It's not real. No, that was a real. It's conducted by literally Congress themselves, the highest level. 13 accounts. Ridiculous. Witnesses that were investigating. Witnesses. Yeah, witnesses that were investigating it, and then they show up dead before they can testify. What? Oh yeah, oh let's look at Trump again. Da, 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 da. So yeah, don't you worry. They're investigating because it's been real interesting the amount of people that came that come out of the woodwork that randomly show up and stuff like that just because I'm talking about a certain past president. This guy, like literally, he is so triggered. He actually has like paid like bots on YouTube and paid people and stuff to essentially that's what he does. He has a guy, and his guy that does this. He just like pays for like a basically he has like these fake YouTube accounts. So that's what he's doing. He creates a YouTube account, and then all he did was he bought a bunch of subs so he could have a bunch of bots and alts. So now what he does is anybody that talks about Trump or talks bad about him, he goes into their chats and he goes onto their channels and he just harasses and harasses and harasses and harasses. He gets people, not people, but his bots and his alts to come in and type a bunch of things. Yeah, this is real serious. Let me ask you a question. In all the years that you guys have been streaming, everybody's been online, and everybody talks nasty about Biden and shit like that, do you ever see anybody have just a shitload of people come in and start insulting them, or the stream gets cut out, or something like that, or death threats? I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, I've just never seen it. And yet every single time I talk about this issue, or this subject, or anything having to do with this, that happens. You know, I like the Republican Party. FYI. Yeah, true. I like the Republican Party. I appreciate what it stands for. Yeah. But I respect the two-party system. It's just lately, the only one that's made any sense and had any value or ethic that I've really felt like voting for are the Democrats. That's it. And I've said this before. I mean, I didn't really want to get talking about this, but like, I mean, like case in point, that's, we're getting people in the stream listening. And, is just that I do like the Republican Party. I do. But you have to remember that lately, Clinton was the one that balanced the budget. He was in there for 2 terms. He balanced the budget. We had a surplus. It was the Republican Bush. And I'm not saying he was all bad. I'm just saying like that after Iraq, the situation there, we had a deficit of $2.5 trillion, $3.5 trillion, something like that. 2.5, 3.5, something like that. We had a surplus of like $2 trillion or $3 trillion. Yeah, and then basically we went through $5 trillion and had a deficit after that. And it's never stopped. That's what did it. And every time I talk about this and try to tell people about this, this is like man, this makes people like rage. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why you hate Clinton so much that you would actually think that he did anything except help the country. But this is the point. Like, people want to like kill you just because you want to actually educate and inform people. I'm sorry, he's a damn American hero. I don't give a shit what you think about his personal life. Thank God for Bill Clinton, because the 90s probably wouldn't have happened. Yeah, they actually balanced the budget. So, and a lot of the stuff the Obama administration did took us out of the deficit from the Bush administration. Now, the Obama administration, like the Obamas, like the family and everything, they're friends with the Bushes. They all get along. You know, there's no, they don't dislike each other. They just had, you know, they agree that, like, basically just had different views when they were in office, and that's the point. Every one of these guys agrees that with Trump, it's totally different. It's totally different. It's not like he has a different view. No, he doesn't want a view. He doesn't want to do anything. The office is literally just some sort of weird thing that he's doing to help him get out of this ridiculous hole that he dug for himself, that he now can't get out of. And again, I always theorized he didn't even want to run for president, that he just did it to support his brand. He originally did it because some rich guy told him, well, you know what you have to do to inflate your, you know, because he was going to lose. The Apprentice ratings were down. He was going to lose the show. After he announced he was running for president, suddenly they signed for more seasons and all kinds of stuff. He's a con artist. He was literally sitting there on The Apprentice and getting rid of people that everybody would expect to do well. That's what his con was. So that way nobody would, so that way people would keep watching, because the idea was that, well, you'd never expect that, would you? For him to get rid of the guy that actually does it really well. Yeah, that's the point. It's a con. The point is he's supposed to keep the best guy. So, I mean, like, that's the point. And like, I think even people were trying to sue him and stuff. And then so, like, I think the recommendation probably was for somebody to tell him to, well, run for president. All these other guys did it, and then they wrote a book about it and made a bunch of money. There you go. He didn't expect to win. He underestimated, and it's just about that thing I talked to you about earlier, just how many people hate the fact that we were going to have a first woman president. That they actually came out and came to do that. That many people registered to vote. Yeah, that was an unprecedented amount of people that came out to register to vote. It was. Look it up. And I think he even, like, he just kept lying about all kinds of stuff. He would lie. The point is, like, what you have to consider is that somebody would lie about something so easily provable wrong. What else is he going to lie about? Like, all the time he was lying about, like, oh, it was they told me it was one of the biggest electoral wins ever, one of the biggest, landslide, and it's one of the smallest. And like he just lies about this and that, like, all the time. You just lie. When he was gonna be sworn in, he kept lying about, like, the crowd size, and he actually tweeted a picture of a different crowd. It was the Obama inauguration, and it was just huge. He tweeted that as his, I guess, because his was, like, bare. Yeah, and, you know, it looks really fishy. Tweets are gone by now. But, like, all these billionaires supporting each other is not something you guys want. That's the kind of money that, like, is even scary to, like, a celebrity. You know what I mean? Like these celebrities and stuff like that. You realize how much $1 billion is? Like, I know, like, we were talking about this the other day, is that the point is people can't appreciate the deficit because they can't appreciate just how much $1 trillion is. They don't know. Okay? So, like, a good way to look at this is in order to get to a billion, you're getting to 1,999,000,000 times. 9,999,000,000 times you're getting to 1,000,000 before you get to 1,000,000,000. Like that's the point. Like, you have to do it again. And then there's another set of 3 zeros before you get to the next digit. So appreciate how long it takes to get to 1,000,000,000. You know how many times you get to 1,000,000, you get to 1,000,000,000. All right, 9,999,999 times. That's 1,000,000,000. That's one away from 1,000,000,000. Okay. So now we're at 1,000,000,000. That's it. Now we just got to 1,000,000,000. And we got there by adding one digit that many times. Actually, 999,999,999 times. Now we're at just 1,000,000,000. Okay? Now do that again, but do the process with an extra 3 sets of numbers. You realize the point is it takes exponentially longer, hence why exponents exist. The point is, you do it again, you've only arrived at 2,000,000,000. That's it. Now you're just at 2,000,000,000. Big fucking deal. And we're talking you got to do this now, 999 billion times, 999,999,999 times just to get to 1 trillion. Now you're at 1 trillion. And the deficit, now take that, now multiply that by a negative number, that's in the negative, like 19 or 20 times or so. I forget what it's at. Negative. Now do everything we just did. That's the point. People don't get how much a trillion is. Now do everything we just did and do it 20 more times in the negative. That's what these assholes that you elected did. That spend more money than they should. Oh, US, they got plenty of money. No, we don't. What? Where? What? So that's the point. They don't appreciate how much a trillion actually is. And this is something I was talking about recently, and then Asman was actually talking about it too, like right after me. And he's the one that said that, like that. And that's a really good point. People really don't appreciate how much a trillion actually is. And that's a good point, And I was talking about the title of the stream. If you keep doing this stream, yeah, we'll just troll it back. Because, as you're sitting about the national debt. You can find that. It's real suspicious. Public information. Some very unconstitutional things going on here. We have some groups and organizations here at work look like they're at work to try to silence free speech and public information. That's the point. Nobody knows this shit. Nobody knows what the national debt is, and they don't want people to. Remember when I tried to show that on stream? All YouTube has to do is block it in other countries. It's not my fucking problem. And aside from that, who cares? Yeah, so what? They saw the national debt clock for a few seconds. Big fucking deal. So what? Jeez. How about actually address the national debt instead of trying to silence speech about it? Unbelievable. So if you have an administration that wants to stimulate the economy, this is going to take time. It will oftentimes not work until they're out of office. So this is why like we're really not seeing an impact for the economy like Trump said there would be. Well, that's why, because he lied. He actually did things to hurt the economy for when Biden would get elected. That was the point. He kind of, you know, did certain things so that, you know, because he can sit pretty and just say, well, it's all the Democrats' fault, and you'll just believe it. He'll just like say a random thing, and that's the problem. You'll just believe it. So he can just sit there and do something and blame it, and terrible, and just blame it on somebody else and blame it on the other guy, and you just believe him. So he just sits there and just does whatever he wants, blames. It doesn't matter if it's trash. Like when he called the, you do realize he got rid of a doc. You do realize he got rid of a deal. The worst deal ever. You guys like don't even know what that did. Like they loved the fact that he got rid of that deal. Yeah, they can make nukes in other countries. Yeah, Trump got rid of a deal that literally said that they couldn't make nukes in Iran. This is the deal that he says the worst deal, blah, 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 and he got rid of this. Yeah, so now they can make nukes in that country. Why the fuck does Trump give a shit about that? What the hell? Unbelievable. So this is the point. He's just saying things. And you guys don't know what the heck he's talking about. It's the worst deal. Meanwhile, he gets rid of it, and then that country celebrates because they can start making nukes again. How is that the worst deal? Like, what the hell does that have anything to do with anything? Jeez. Imagine coming in the chat and having nothing valuable to say except neither do you. Is that all you can say, or? No, you're falling for the trap because they're investigating this. Yes, I do believe this is one of the fake ones, so I hope you guys are watching because... No, I know you guys are watching. Yep. So there we go, that was apparently enough. They tried to cut it out earlier and they couldn't. I was making some points, so, you know, now they're, You mean the real issue? The national debt? That is a real issue. The national debt's a huge issue. That's like the issue. How did I attack you? Explain. How did I attack you? What did I say in the past minute that was attacking? Give me one example. All I said is that they're in here They're coming in, and I hope you guys are watching. I'm aggressive? How so? I'm just talking. I'm aggressive? I'm just talking. All I do is complain? That's not true. Literally not true. That's it. You're actually proving that that's all you do. You actually came in here to complain. Yeah, it's funny that you say that because you just proved that's all you're doing. Yeah, you know, it's funny. You came in to say, you came in to say that all I do is complain. Yet all you did when you came in here is bitch about what, like just everything. You're just complaining. You have nothing valuable to say. Oh my god. It was so ridiculous. Fake emotion. You are part of the sheeple, my friend. Oh, where have I heard that word before? Where have I heard that word before? So this is all being collected and looked at. So just be aware that if you're believed to be part of an organized online terrorist organization, and you know you're going out of your way to essentially hack streams and stuff and cause issues for people, you know, they're gonna find out who's doing it, and you know if you're one of the ones contributing to it, then I feel bad for you because you were warned to stop. Yeah, why do you guys think I haven't been blocking lately? I've been letting you just talk. Why do you guys think I've been doing that? Yeah, my policy in the past has always just been immediately to block somebody that is an obvious troll, which, by the way, you are. Um, so, yeah, keep typing. I'm aggressive. I'm passionate. I'm aggressive. If I was aggressive, I'd be like, you guys literally don't watch content creators. Like you're sitting here, oh, he's aggressive. Yeah, there's like all these content creators out here that like they make rage content and they like break shit on stream and they're like yelling up a storm. Yeah, this is pretty mild compared to that. There's people that want me to do that. So that's the point. Is this is how it seems. Essentially, they come in to trigger that response. They essentially want you to have some interaction that causes a real life problem. They essentially want people to see you as a real life problem, so they come in to trigger these responses. But if you're consistently doing this like as a regular thing, and you're crashing the stream, you're hacking the stream, you're in here, you're hate watching, you're spamming the dislike, you're showing up in like there'll be like 5 or 6 concurrents that show up all at the same time and then leave all at the same time. Like you're essentially just causing issues for the system on purpose, with knowledge that these essentially would cause these issues. You are knowingly harassing me, and you are knowingly triggering that response. So essentially it would end up being your fault. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's like if you run into somebody, you rear end somebody, and then when you rear end somebody, the car then hits another car. Whose fault is it? Do you know? You should. Well, where I come from, it's the person, it doesn't matter that the other car hit the other car. It's the person who caused the initial chain reaction. It's the person who literally hit that first car, because otherwise that car would have sat there just fine by itself, doing its thing, not being bothered. But all of a sudden, this other car comes up, rams right into it. That's what you guys are doing. That's what these cult groups are doing. And we got these scamming content creators pretending like they're making like positive cults and stuff like that, but really all they're doing is they're breeding a passive aggressive cult. That's what you're doing. It's passive aggressive, where you literally hate everything, but you pretend not to. You're like, oh, it's so positive. Oh, it's positive. No, it isn't. You just hate everything. Oh, everything's bad. Everything's bad. Let's talk about how this happened on this day. Everything's bad. Everything's bad. Let's draw attention to everything bad. Oh, but this is positivity. This is positivity. But we're gonna draw attention to everything that's bad. Oh, well, that's just it. It's like so passive aggressive. It's so bullshit, you know. Both are wrong. Do your own thing. Stop trying to copy somebody else and then claim you're not copying. That's what you're doing. Hey. So, I love how the person that came in my chat and called me aggressive didn't ever actually tell me how I was being aggressive. Yeah, they just lied. Again, so this is the extent of what they can do. They come in and just say a bunch of random things that aren't true. Yeah. And again, they're like, but you attacked me. I didn't. Literally never. Yep, I didn't. Never. Not once. But this person feels this way because they themselves know that they are in the wrong about something. They know flat out that all they have to do is just stop doing what it is they're doing. They know flat out that they're the one doing the harassing, or they're the one going out of their way to be a certain way, to like troll the political system or whatever it is they're doing. They know that they're part of the issue. So they come in and start doing this and trying to point the finger, but really it's them. They know it. So they just hate and they hate and hate and hate and hate. All I'm doing is trying to point out that there are facts and you can find them. And every time I try to state what they are, oh, suddenly the stream gets cut out. Yeah, that's the point. Oh, I make a good point. Oh, suddenly the stream gets cut out. Well, no, you guys come in and you do it. You don't want me to make a good point. Send an email. You're so dumb. Oh, by the way, nice one trying to claim you don't have any alts. Yeah, nice one trying to claim you don't have any alts. They know. Yeah, they already know. should just stop. See, this is the point. I'm just making content. And you're so triggered. I'm just a guy talking. And you're so triggered. You're aggressive, you attack me. No, I didn't. I did none of those things. You're the one that came in here and started detracting. I didn't attack you. Said nothing of the sort. I asked questions. If anything, that shows that I'm trying to give you at least a little bit of a room to talk. That I didn't just block you immediately. Yeah. And then, you know, when the fake accusations come into play, when I'm proving that I'm not doing that I'm not triggered by these things, you know, essentially this is what you're doing. You're trying to trigger a response. So when I'm proving that I'm not triggered by it, you're just lying in chat. You're just like, oh, you attacked me. Oh, do. No, you're just lying because I'm not triggered by the things you wanted me to be triggered by. So you just act like a fucking idiot and say a bunch of shit to try to trigger me even more, but you're just being a fucking idiot. I'm just saying shit, dude. If you don't like what I'm saying, don't fucking watch. It's as simple as that. By the way, this is super hard to go outside and walk around. Only sat down once to send an email. Be out here longer if I could. Let me see if I can. We might be able to swing that. You know, it is certainly my sincere apologies if anybody's offended. I don't mean to offend anybody by anything. I mean, truly, I really, that's the truth. I don't want to offend anybody by anything, at all, ever. I want you guys to understand me a bit more. That's all. I just talk, and you know, I do see a huge amount of folks that are just really hateful, and you know, I'm just being honest. That's all. I'm just talking about the issues, and you know, it is a bit of the passion that comes out. It is a bit of the passion that comes out. It's a bit. I have a question. I have a legitimate, I'm actually legitimately asking. But I don't think you're going to tell me. And I think I'm just going to have to find out, you know, the long way. I'd love to know who was actually sitting in the stream just to leave right when the stream came back. I'm actually asking. I want to know. I just want to know, so I can go ahead and block you. Yeah, because I don't like. What is that? It's so weird, man. Thank you for waiting, but like, if you're actually waiting to leave, that's messed up. I appreciate the ones that actually waited to wait. So anyway, let me see if I can. All there. You guys can say what's up. There. We're gonna continue if I can. I'm gonna turn the air on so you guys can still hear me. With the window down, you guys probably won't be able to hear me. That's the only thing. So let me just lay it out for you guys. This is nothing new to me. Everywhere I go, and it's just the people that I sort of, it's because somebody, like, it's usually just the people that, like, they know there's one thing that they're sort of kind of doing that's kind of bothering themselves, and maybe I help draw it out or whatever it is, but the point is, wherever I go, you know, there's always like a certain amount of people that you know, they just, it's like, because of you know, the things that I believe or know, I should say, like, you know, just like certain things and stuff like that, because I spent so much time looking them up and all that. I just sort of kind of know them, and people are really stubborn with this, and they're just really stubborn. And so the point is that I'm trying to say this in a way, like, because I don't want to come across, you know, because, like, I genuinely care about people, and I want to, you know, like, definitely remind you guys of that, because I know it's tough with all the sheer amount of trolling that I get, and the sheer amount of people that have come on just to farm content and then turn around and try to flip it on me, you know. Basically, they're bothered by, you know, like a bunch of different things, and, you know, instead of just moving on with it, what they do is they sit and they farm content, and because they're farming content, they're mad because I'm instead talking about them, and so now they can't farm content. Does that make sense? So then they just, like, they do things to kind of trigger some sort of response, and they're like, oh, okay, well, now he's talking, all right, now here's some ideas, you know, now I'm gonna do that, but I'm not gonna, like, be mad when I do it, because that's the point. They're triggering that response. They're doing something with the stream or triggering some response, you know, saying things or something like that, and so they get that response, but they're you know, what they're doing is they're taking the idea and they're going to talk about it in positive in their stream and stuff like that and say it's theirs, but really they triggered some response out of me to farm the idea. And so now, like, the idea is to get YouTube to do the thing where they don't show your stream to certain amounts of people. So this works for this person because then nobody knows that I said it. And thus YouTube is actually helping this content creator steal ideas. Thus we have a loop where YouTube is inadvertently helping
people steal ideas from me and farm content ideas, just because they're the ones actually triggering some sort of aggressive or angry response by the things they're coming in with alts to say that nobody knows. Obviously, they don't know what their alts are, and or you know, like whatever it is they're doing. You know, like basically that's the point. Is this person triggers a response out of me, farms the content idea, delivers it to you on their channel in a ha 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 way, you know, like, oh, happy, you're you know, like, it's safe and stuff like that. And meanwhile, they got the idea. I look bad in the process. They look good, and it's the same fucking con they've been running. So the point is I don't get why they don't just make content instead of like scheming things. Like, that's the point, is like, so does this person do that with everything in their life? Like, is this how they are? Like, they don't know how to just legitimately make content? That's the point. Like, all these people get out of me when they trigger a response. You know, the person earlier is like, oh, aggressive, blah, blah, blah. I'm just talking. All they do is get me ranting about stuff. So, okay, great, he's really smart. We'll get him to rant about some things. Yeah, and then I do, and then they take the ideas. That's the point, is like, nobody recognizes that this is the game that's happening. So, anyway, I'm not new to this. You know, people have been doing this. Content creators have been doing this to me for a bit. Yeah, that's why I have the tone I do. Like, it's just, there's only so much you know. There's only so long you're gonna tolerate that shit. You know. It's sort of like, you guys ever watch Moist? You guys ever watch him? You know how, like, he just has like a tone to his voice. Yeah, just like he's just done dealing with bullshit in sort of tone. That's sort of kind of just his tone is how I just kind of feel. Just all the time. It's like, yeah, I'm just tired of it. Just want to do what I want to do. And, you know, like, that's the point, is I know how to do it. So, like, just all the people are getting in the way of that on purpose. The same thing happens when you're in martial arts. It's exactly the same. The martial arts schools in the area will talk crap about your school. They'll try to get people not to go. They'll say things that aren't true. They'll send like little spies into your school and stuff to pretend like they're there to try a class or something like that, but they're not. They're just there to spy on things. They try to learn how you're doing certain stuff, and it's exactly the same game. That, look, I'm not new to this. I owned a martial arts school. This happened. These things happened. And there were other schools around, and that's exactly what they used to do. And, you know, it's the same sort of crap that I dealt with that. It's YouTube instead. So I'm not new to this. It's a con. And it's no different than that same douche that owns that school that isn't teaching you self-defense, is teaching you blocking incorrectly that would break your arm or something like that. That's why I care so much, and that's why it comes off the way it does, is because it's passionate. I care. That's why. It's not aggressive. It's I care. If it was aggressive, like, I mean, like, there's plenty, like I said, there's plenty of rage content creators out there for you to look at for that. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Yeah, they're breaking their desk like every day and stuff. I'm not doing that. the point is that I just care, and I want genuinely people to understand things, because they don't. People just don't understand how things work. Oh, I had no sleep. I'm sorry. Chat wasn't even displaying. No, like, no lie, chat wasn't displaying at all. So I don't know when you said that, but I just saw it just now. It literally wasn't even on the screen. I don't know why. It does that sometimes. So, my bad. Yeah, definitely. Had to take care of that. It's so funny, like when they come in and like right when I'm saying certain things, you know what I mean? I know. Look at this, gross, right? No filter is gross. Look at this, no filter is gross. I know, right? No filter is gross. Nobody wants to see that. Hold on, let's get... There you go. Is that better? Oh, no, not that one. There you go. It's not so gross anymore, right? That's funny. I gotta go get a drink and we'll probably walk some more. I don't know, we'll see. I got plenty I can talk about though. So. Hold on. There you go. I did. Okay. One sec. I'll be right back. I'm gonna throw this away and grab a drink. This guy had the most adorable. I think it's a pit bull. Might be mixed. Freaking adorable. Do they have blue eyes? This one had blue eyes, so it was mixed with something maybe. Is this how this works? Is this how it works? I don't get it. Is this how it works? It doesn't seem to be getting anything. Guys, I don't get it. Is this how it works? You're so aggressive. Man. Not even an ounce. Yeah. Not even an ounce. I'm a protector. That's what I do. That's what I do. Yeah, that's what I do. I stick my neck out for you. I've proven that. Yep. I'm proving that. I mean, I shouldn't have to, but I sort of have. Hey, birdie. There's a bird perched on the top of this roof right now, just staring at me. Oh, he dropped down. He was eyeballing me. Yep, that bird up there was eyeballing me. I was like, what you doing, man? That's my normal spot. What you doing, man? Well, you parked there, man. Stop beeping. Shut up. I am a better actor than you guys think I am. I'm very obviously good at drawing a certain crowd in to, well, you guys get what I'm saying. So, just throwing that out there. Sorry, it's a little bumpy here. It's a little bit bumpy. So, I guess we're gonna go back to walking, and then we'll get back to like sort of normal talking. I don't want to be down too much. I'll talk to you guys a little bit. I also sort of kind of gotta lean for you to see me. Otherwise, if I sit normal, I'll do this. Hold on. Yeah, I want to pay attention to what I'm doing. So I'm just sort of sitting normal. Sorry, guys. I mean, I guess I could put you up on the mount, but I'm trying to use it only when I need to. Does that make sense? That's a good amp. 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 It's a hell of an amp. It's a hell of an amp. Trademark. You heard it here first. It's a hell of a game. I've said it many times. That'll be the official. Yeah. The official slogan. Yes? No. Yes. No. Yes. You talked me into it. sign there. There's not a moment to spare. It's quite a drop from the top. So how you feeling down there? It's a cold, cruel, harsh reality. Caught, stuck here with your enemies. It's in my head. You think you are? You're tearing yourself apart. Where did you think you go? In my head. That's the state of my head. Got shined out now. It's been a long, bumpy ride, sitting back in the saddle. It's time to get down dirty on my knees into battle. That's all you get. And a flag is tattered and a bones are shattered, but it doesn't matter 'cause we're moving slow. It's not easy. It's a good song. Let's go. Let's go. All eyes are seeing red. Television from the only thing is What's up? What's up? We got some peoples. There's only one peoples here now. There was a bunch of peoples here earlier. There's only one peoples here now. Only one peoples here now. It's a... Man, that guy's got a trailer. I have a question. Why sometimes there are like 4 or 5 people randomly in the stream and then not? Will come and people from that will wait and I see it's the Is that from that cup? Boy. Yeah.
That's obviously want to actually fly around exploring that. And honestly, like just sort of and you know what I mean, like endlessly fly around, but then also endlessly walk around and explore and find new stuff that we haven't seen before. That's incredible. Like it actually just doesn't feel like all the moons look the same or all the planets look the same. I'm actually seeing like stuff that feels fresh. That's cool. Now, I mean, like some stuff is gonna look a little bit similar, but that's how like the planets and life structure and stuff kind of works. To be honest with you, but for the most part, it does a really good job, in my opinion, of being unique and being, like when we look at that galaxy map, you really have so many systems you can go to. That's incredible that they did that. It's way easier to use than a certain other game. By the way, it's way easier to use than a certain other game. It doesn't label the systems, and you have to click on each one, hover over it to see the name, and there's a little drop down menu. Like no, this thing like you can just fly around the map, the thing, and like instantly get to wherever you want and just pick one and go there. Like it's that quick. It's not like this blocky process. So, like just comparatively, the amount of time I've spent playing, Starfield versus No Man's Sky at this point. Obviously, everybody's going to make the comparison. Oh, the one for PlayStation's better. Blah 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 blah. Well, yeah, it's not about that. It's not about that. Stop making it about that. It's not, and that's not why either. Objectively, one is better than the other for a good reason. So the other one just has to build off of that and has to understand how it's done, essentially. That's all. And it could get there. I don't know that it's going to measure up at this point, because with them releasing new content for the other one, and it has that huge leg up already. Think of every time we play and we're sitting there and we just like, I'm amazed at how good the sky looks. And like I just have to stop and stare at it. There's so much depth to it. There's so much color. There's it looks original almost every time I look at it. I do realize that with Starfield they came from more of like a realistic aspect and consulted with NASA and all that type of stuff, but there's still a certain amount of there's still a certain amount of like it feels. I know people are saying dated like graphics and stuff like that. I guess it's sort of like that. It's more just everything